Culture is carried by language, but with the advent of globalization, there seems to exist already a united global culture. Now, where does this put local languages like Filipino, the official language of the Philippines, and Winaray, the local language, yes, language, not dialect, in my region, in the archipelagos in my case, at stake of eradication? Some years ago, I joined this international essay contest, and though I did not win, I seem to have still two, because I was among those few chosen whose excerpts from their essay were included in a book by Time Asia and Asia Business Council entitled Through the Eyes of Tiger Cubs, Views of Asia's Next Generation. It's this book, which you can buy online. 100% of sales from the books will go to charity, and not even us contributors will get any share of the profit. Can you see? Where am I at? Here. On Asian Identity, Chapter 7. Moving on, the topic of the essay contest was to answer what problems Asia will face in the next 10 or so years. And as a youth, my answer revolves around the questions of identity, language, education, environment, and globalization. Issues that I believe are pressing problems in my society. My speech today would give points from this book, and I am to persuade you to believe that the Philippines' new educational system, K+12, requires children in kindergarten to grade 3 be taught in the local languages which the Philippines is rich in, to develop life skills, critical thinking, and vocabulary, therefore increased learning, especially in the English language. This is a dictionary of Winaray words to English which are used in the grades 1 to 3, kindergarten to grade 3. A lot of critics say that because kids will be taught in local languages from kindergarten to grade 3, they will not be able to learn English because it will just be a subject. For example, mathematics will be taught in my local language of Winaray, and because of this, these students will not have a better grasp of English mathematics. Actually, this program is an ambitious one, but I believe that it will produce results because teaching in the child's first language would make him grasp ideas better, and the fact that English will also be taught in the context of the native language, the child would be effective in both languages. As a college instructor at present, I have in my care students who underwent the old educational system, where kids learned the English language from day one in school and were discouraged to speak in the local languages. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because even if my students at present have been exposed to English since kindergarten in the context of English, their English, sad to say, are very elementary. I am disappointed because I too was a product of the public education system, but thanks to the fact that I have been well read since my childhood, I am, I think, good in English. I am disappointed because even if my students are in college, I use elementary materials, not to their awareness because I write down lesson plans and notes beforehand, but they still have difficulty in my classes. I spoke English in my childhood, but I was encouraged to express my ideas in my local language too. And if ever I have difficult English words, I would ask my family what they meant in Winaray. I just wish my students had this chance at learning English in the context of their local language so that they would not be giving me headaches when I check their papers. In the Tiger Cubs books, many Asian youth are wary of the fact that local culture is not being preserved by globalization. Those included in the book, including me, are concerned about the loss of local culture and are passionate about preserving the elements that make countries distinctive. I personally fear cultural homogenization and domination. The problem with having a global culture is that it will be dominated by only one culture. Since English is deemed as a global language, then the cultures of English-speaking nations will dominate. Furthermore, in the book, my advocacy of local language is presented. Schools must be the first advocates of the native language, as students spend more time in school than in their homes and the community. I have been witness of younger kids who would rather speak in English and not our own language. I am an advocate of the native languages as our university professors when I was in college encouraged us to write in the language we were most comfortable with. If my language will be eradicated, so will my culture, and so will my identity. I don't want this to happen, and I will not allow this to happen. Would you? The next time you are degraded by speaking your native language, think about how it has honed you into being more critical-minded and having a wider vocabulary. This is what the Philippines K plus 12 system is aiming, to produce students who will understand many languages and be effective in all of them. The idea of second language teaching through the lens of the first language would produce better equipped students and therefore giving hope to the country, my country. Educating the youth correctly will produce a better society. Ashamed of your native language? Think again. Embrace it, speak it, write it, be proud of it. It will help you in ways you would never even think about. Thank you.